So now we're going to check this out. When James Clyburn, he says he's concerned about African American voters, and I'm sure it is in reference to Kamala Harris. This guy's a real piece of fucking work. He's had a civil rights bill. No, I'm sorry, not a civil rights bill, but a reparations bill just lingering around in government for about 30 years. He's the author of it. Wonder why it hasn't even came to a vote. But let's see what this human is talking about.
Being here, you just heard Donald Trump making his appeal to black men quite explicit. Your friend, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, who you campaigned with in Michigan, says that the message she's hearing from black men is, quote, Democrats take us for granted. Donald Trump talks to us directly. Are you concerned about black men voting for Trump or staying home?
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, I am concerned about black men staying home or voting for Trump. But my concern...
And I don't understand why the fuck y'all so concerned about black men. Y'all don't care about black men any other time. Why are you concerned now? Wonder.
Concerns don't tend to keep me from being energetic about this campaign. Because I was in Michigan campaigning with Debbie last weekend. I thought our swing through Michigan was very, very effective. I met with black men. I met with black religious leaders. I met with black union leaders. And quite frankly, I think we had very
These black religious leaders, these black union leaders, they don't really represent black people. Those are your people that are getting paid to do whatever it is that y'all want them to do. So let's continue.
frank and direct discussions, and I don't see and feel what I'm reading about in news reports. Yes, black men, like everybody else, want to know exactly what I can expect from Harris administration, and I've been very direct with them. And I've also contrasted that with what they can expect from a Trump administration. We will expect Project 2025 to be a full-blown policy in his administration. And what would that policy be? I described it on the first night of our national convention, and I've been describing it that way ever since. It will be Jim Crow 2.0. Now, you know, I'm the 9th African-American serving Congress.
Fear-mongering. So Project 2025 has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You can go look it up. It's something that's made by the Heritage Foundation. It's something that they put out all the time. And then he's this fear-mongering Jim Crow 2.0. First of all, that's not going to happen. But if you look back throughout history, during all these Jim Crow and chattel slavery and all of these type of things, black folks were better off. Not saying that that's going to happen this time, because the way some of these crazy Negroes act today, I don't want to be around none of them. But just to fearmonger you and keep us divided from other groups, and frankly, to keep us divided amongst each other, they're going to use these tactics. They, Democrats, is what I mean.
Congress from South Carolina. That means there were 8 before me. The problem is there were 95 years between number 8 and number 9. And the policies of that 95 years that kept us out of government, out of this economy, is called Jim Crow. And if you look at Project 2025, it will be Jim Crow 2.0. And I am amazed at the number of people who actually are interested in contrasting that. And I think that we had a lot of success up in Michigan being able to explain that.
He just throw these terms out, Jim Crow 2.0, Project 2025. Can you tell us, or will you tell us how, through Project 2025, that will enact something similar to Jim Crow? Let's see if he's going to tell us that. Probably not.
So when you were in Michigan, you said that first you started your answer by saying you are concerned. What did you hear that makes you concerned?
When people raise questions about what does she stand for, and I tend to ask them, don't tell me what you hear, tell me what you feel. What you feel about her, as opposed to what you experienced for 4 years under Trump. And I have yet to find one.
No, it's not about feelings. What do you feel for her? I feel that she is a nice looking woman. I feel if I came in contact with her, I got a good chance on, that's what I feel, but I ain't got nothing to do with it. No. Don't ask men how they feel about something, because they're going to tell you what they think. And I think she's a total goofball. I think she's a total dummy. Very, very, very book smart. Oh, she can pass a test and exam and get promoted and do all of these type of things. But as far from an instinctual, just doing what makes sense, she just don't do none of that. So don't ask a man what he feels if you don't want to know what he feels, because he's not in tune with that. I'm not in tune with how I feel, because that's dangerous. I'm going to tell you what I think.
One single person that can tell me one thing that they got out of the Trump administration, except, as a few of them said to me, well, we got a stimulus check. And then I said to them, don't you know that Congress appropriates money? And just because the president holds up that check until he can get his name on it, you say that you got it from him? When it was a Democratic-controlled House of Representatives and Senate that passed that bill and made those checks available. So when people get the explanation, it's a better understanding, and therefore you get a much better reaction.
And Congressman, I'm sure you heard former President Obama speaking a few days ago, and one of the things that he said, well, he suggested, he didn't say, he suggested that perhaps sexism is playing into the dynamic here. Do you think so?
Well, look, this country has never had a woman at its helm. England has had Margaret Thatcher, and we talk about how great she was. Germany has had Angela Merkel, and we talked about how great she was. And this is what I say to people when that issue comes up. Let's compare what women have done in European countries. And I just think that our women here in these United States of America are just as strong, just as energetic, just as smart as any woman on earth. And so when that comes up, I just take people.
Because China wants to do business with us, but...
Wait. What the heck happened? I don't know what happened. But, yeah, that probably needed to end where it ended at. And it's... The last question was, do you think the reason that black men are going away from Kamala just because she's a woman? No. That's not the reason. This lady cannot answer. And we're just talking about simple things. If someone asks you a basic question, do you think you can answer it? Yeah. So look at this lady. The questions that she have been asked are been in her favor through people who are favorable to her, and she still fumbles it. And the way she fumbles this is just she don't answer. She just don't answer. One of the questions throughout one of these interviews was, Madam Vice President, what are you gonna do to improve the economy? Well, I grew up in a middle class neighborhood. And then whatever 200 words came after that makes no sense, has no relevance to the question that was asked. So now, if you can answer a basic question, how are you going to have critical thinking skills when it comes to complex problems, when dealing with foreign leaders, when their culture is totally different? They're an adversary to you. Your failure is their goal. And you can't answer questions from a friendly force. People who are in favor of you. People who give you multiple choice answers when they ask you softball questions and you still can't answer questions cogently with anything that makes sense without saying the same old words: ambitions, aspirations, opportunity, economy. Asking you, what are you gonna do? But you bring up Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not the president. Donald Trump was really the president from 2016 to through 2020. You know who was in charge before that? Democrats. You know who was in charge after Donald Trump's presidency? Democrats. So we're talking about a period of 20 years. Donald Trump, a Republican, was the president for 4. Guess who was running shit those other 12 years? Yeah, it was Democrats. And you clowns got nothing done for anybody except yourselves.